G'day. Welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. I'm Vaughan Blakey and we've got a big show lined up for you today. Yoo! We head to Yamba with some super talents and we catch up with stylish longboarder Matt Chinosky and talk all things longboard fin designs with FCS. But before all that, we're going to head down to Victoria for the Woolworths State Junior titles and a profile on rising star Bruce Willis-Droomer.
Hi, my name is Willis-Droomer. I'm 15 from Jan Juc, Victoria. Well, first time I started surfing, I went up to Byron Bay, New South Wales when I was about 5 and just got hooked. It was super fun, like epic thing to do, and it was a bit like skating, but when you fell, you didn't hurt yourself as much, so yeah, it's good. We are at the 2022 first round state rounds in Victoria at Phillip Island. So we got waves today. It's kind of small, but you know, it's 2 to 2 foot, like head high range, and some light winds. So yeah, it's good, fun waves.
I've never seen a front porch swing with 2 lovers. I've never seen it turn out right.
In the first heat, I got a few good scores, you know, like mid-range, and then towards the end I got a couple, I think I got like 2 8s, so I was happy with that just to get, you know, the sets and get a couple good turns done. It's what you want, you've got to do that to win heats, so yeah. I guess in competitive surfing, it is, you know, the main way to, you know, prove what you got, you know. It's like, it's the proving grounds.
When he was young, I guess I was helping a lot, you know, like I was getting him organised and all that sort of stuff. And now I'm just kind of along for the ride now. I always ask him, you know, do you want to do this? And if you don't, that's fine, you know, up to you. So he's always been the one pushing it, and the only way to do it that's going to be successful in the long run is if the kid drives it.
It is basically the main thing I do, and like every day, you know. It's like I'm at school, you know, I want to be surfing, and when I'm surfing, I'll sort of just keep going until I'm cold or tired. So yeah, it's like the funnest thing ever. You get to do it with your mates, and yeah, it's just a good sport.
Willis, Big Willie D. He's an interesting lad. I've known Willis since he was 8 or 9. I remember doing air comps with him when he was 10, just free surfing at Jan Juc. Always been hyper talented, hyper in love with surfing. And it's been the last couple of years he's really come out of his shell a lot. He's an awesome kid, really down to earth, really humble, but has this exciting, burning, simmering drive underneath him.
Long term is to get on the world tour, I guess, you know. That's like the pinnacle of surfing, so I want to get there and prove to myself and others that I can make it, hopefully. You know, you get to travel a lot of places and do a lot of things, but yeah, you still got to work for it, so it's got to be tough, but hopefully I get there.
Woo! What a shredder. Willis is definitely one to watch. What do you reckon, Vorno? You're not wrong, mate. Well, we'll be back in just a moment with plenty more on Surfing Australia TV. Welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. Well, Surfing Australia partner Reef Tip have been doing their bit to help with the regeneration of the Great Barrier Reef. And they were spreading the good word during this year's Hyundai Australian Board Riders Battle Series. Let's check it out.
I think the Great Barrier Reef is one of our, you know, few sacred sites, and the diversity of the species that are there and the coral, it's beautiful. I think we have a duty to kind of restore that and make sure that it's there for our kids and their kids, and gosh, should be at the top of everyone's priority list.
It's one of the most important things for Australia is to protect our natural wonders. It's such a beautiful place, and the Great Barrier Reef's easily one of the best places we have in this country. So if we can't all stand up and try and protect it and do what's right to look after the reef and the pollution and the animals, then we're kidding ourselves. So put it on the top of your priority list and get involved where you can and help out. Companies like Reef Tip and that getting behind it and trying to do their bit to get the word out there, and also whatever they can to reduce climate change and the impact we have on the reef, then it's awesome.
The ocean's our natural playground, especially for surfers, so we're always looking to make sure the ocean's healthy. You've got to look at any brand like Reef Tip that are looking after our environment, especially the ocean and natural wonders like the Great Barrier Reef, and we've got to support them to make sure that we've still got these available to us and our kids.
What a sick event. We're going to get stuck into a bit of mySURFtv goodness with a pumping, throbbing tube fest at Snapper Rocks. Woo! Welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. Look, we love to nurture the best young talent in the country, and the Surfing Australia Talent ID program is about just that. This year's batch of shredders went into graduation camp at Yamba to celebrate their journey in the program. Having learned about life on the road, an introduction to country and different cultures, this final camp showcases the skills learned on their journey.
Going to pick the boys up. It's their last TRD camp. So all the boys are aging out, 16, so we like to do something a bit special for them. And they're going to be travelling their whole lives, so to experience more than just the comp area, you know, like you can get caught in a trap of go to your hotel, go to the beach, come back, get on that sort of routine, but there's a lot more to experience, a lot more to enjoy. And you know, one of the themes we bring to these camps is, you know, wherever they travel, whether it's in Australia or around the world, is like getting to leave the place better than when you got there. So we're gonna open that up to them this trip. We're meeting up with an Indigenous elder down there, Michael. He's gonna teach us all about the area that we're about to surf, and it should be a hell time.
The world that we live in today, there's so much more acceptance and openness to culture and learning, and these young guys, if they can tap into that, it can, you know, really fulfill them as young men, but also enhancing their connection to place and country, which is a beautiful thing.
So I've been part of the Talent ID program for 2 years now. Pretty much been the best experience in my surfing career so far. I think I've changed my surfing, my attitude, everything, you know, like also making a bunch of new friends, meeting all these cool people.
TID, pretty much, I met all of them personally. I've seen them at comps and stuff, but not really talked to them before that. But the TIDs definitely brought us together closer.
Yeah, if I wasn't invited to the TID, like, I wouldn't have as much knowledge and stuff, and like being able to be pushed as much as I have been like the last couple of years. So yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah, it's just been such a good learning experience, not just for my surfing, but mentally as well, kind of helping me grow throughout the years. It's good to have these camps and be mates, go surfing, but then when we hit the water, there's a bit of competition, rivalry, I guess.
Good morning. How are we, boys? Time to get up.
I really do see these guys, obviously, getting onto that Pro Junior series and then qualifying. They've got such high abilities right now, and if they keep following this pathway and putting in the work, then yeah, definitely see them, on the tour and winning world titles. Possibly even, seeing them in LA 28 or Brisbane 32 Olympics, which would be really exciting for these boys to be experiencing the Olympic Games for the first time, and love to see them there.
Good rocker, nice rails, bit of volume. I reckon this thing will go. Welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. Well, they don't come any more stylish, more majestic, more steezy than longboard legend Matt Chinoski. And he's been collabing with FCS to come up with even better fin systems for the good old log. Let's check it out.
My name's Matt Chinoski. I'm 32 years of age and based in Sydney, Australia. Been surfing since I've been about 7 years old, but I think like most Australians or most people who grow up in ocean cultures, that we kind of just start hanging around the beach and getting salt water in our ankles and sand in our feet when we're a toddler. Majority of the time on the east coast of Australia, the waves are 2 feet and under, and I've never had a bad summer, and always picking up a longboard when it's small, I just couldn't go back. And I actually really do enjoy the glide. Once you connect, a longer rail with the speed of a wave, it is quite an addicting feeling. The best surfer in the water is the one that's the most connected. And I think that's a combination of, your cultural background, but also the boards you're riding, the headspace you're in, and the waves you're surfing. And combining all of that is a really fulfilling perspective and something that I always strive to achieve. And I don't think you'll ever achieve it. You're always trying to find that higher state of connection. And that's sort of what I live by, and that's sort of what I try and pass on to that next generation as well. Surfboards I ride are pretty vast and always changing, but something that does remain the same is the depth and the philosophy behind each board. Each board has to go fast and it has a purpose. I do like testing new boards, but there's a lot that goes into each decision, and most of my boards are made by Bob and Ben McTavish at McTavish Surfboards.
Hey, John.
Bobby.
Good on you, pal. John and I bumped into each other at Noosa Festival, what, 15 years ago?
Yep.
I walked in and saw this guy and went, bumped chest and went, McTavish!
And I said, Bob.
Because he looked like me so much.
What Bob's passed down stems from that 1960s Brookvale influence that inspires me so heavily. Combination of roll bottoms, V-bottoms, and the evolution of soft rails to hard edges, and primarily power surfing, everything from 2 to 10 feet. And the way to approach that and seeking endless progression, that's a constant discussion we always have, and we're always trying to find that perfect surfboard. And from a friendship, mentor level, but also a surfer shaper, Bob's been an incredible influence on me and my own surfing style, because at the end of the day, we're a product of our environment, and you know, I can't try and surf like somebody who's 6'6", because I'm certainly not. And Bob's a similar stature to me, so there's definitely a lot of surfing attributes that I think I can attest to. So I got something to show you.
This is the John fin.
Yep, it's a combo of all the fins that Wiz used to make, and the old boards, the Keos and the cords.
Yep.
A little bit of the red line influence.
Looking real good. First thing I do is I go for the flex. It's nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
With that nose concave and that channel, it'll track, step back, smash it back into the bowl, come back around and then stab the section, couple of paces forward, locks in, and we've got a nose rider turn. This type of fin, rather than a pivot fin, this type of fin will give me that option to play in the bowl or sit high and tight in the nose. With the large quiver of surfboards that I have, something that never changes is the constant source of fins, and having a non-variable to test boards is really important. So having the fin that we've designed and come up with is a neutral template that I can ride in a variety of different surfboards, but most importantly in 2 to 3 foot longboard waves. But that fin has been ridden in everything up to 10 feet waves, in my glider down to 1 foot waves, and it's something that I can chuck in any of my longboards, V-bottoms, roll bottoms, or boards with edge, and I know that I can actually test the board without worrying too much about the fin flex or the idiosyncrasies, because it's a nice all-round fin.
It's a 55-year-old proven template.
Yep.
And with enough concave taper in here to give it a lovely flex. It goes fine and then just swells right there. It's beautiful.
My father's a panel beater and car restorer, and that connection from the past has influenced my surfing as well. Always looking back to go forward, and I find a great deal of satisfaction in reviving old cars. Similar to my surfing perspective, restoring the old cars, we strip them right back and we try and get super connected to the root of the issue. There's a reason why we need to restore it, so we've got to find out why it's rusting or why it's got damage. So we strip it right back to the bare metal, and we build the car from the bottom up, and restoring all the metal, body off the chassis, and depending on the customer's perspective, we'll take this thing back to a custom modification, or we'll do a full restoration. And it's all about communication and connecting. It's very similar to the way I approach my surfing. The future for me is chasing really good waves, getting barreled, finding perfect point breaks, and always experimenting with surfboards and fins. It's the full evolution. Everything in my quiver is built with complete purpose, Bob. And the fin that we've just done, single fins,
You've done
quads,
a good job.
20s, thrusters from 1 to 10 feet and bigger.
You bet, mate.
2 to 20?
This will go to 20.
Yeah, I think so. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, man.
Well, that's it for this episode of Surfing Australia TV. I'm Vaughan Blakey. See you guys next time.